Lockdown, pandemic, COVID, negativity, social media, homeschooling, time, motivation, mojo, achievement, exercise. These are all words that get used currently every day. What I'm finding chatting to friends, to family, to clients is that we're on a bit of a kind of a magic roundabout or a roundabout, aren't we, at the moment? You know, every day it's like Groundhog Day, we're going round and round, we're doing the same thing. And it's hard not to feel negative, it's hard not to feel frustrated, it's hard not to feel like you're not doing the best that you possibly can. And every day I find myself life coaching people, and it's, you know, life coaching is a bit of a word, isn't it? It's a bit of a buzzword, but what is life coaching? Life coaching is having conversations with people and trying to help people with direction. And at the moment, you know, we're all in the same, I've seen two analogies, we're all in the same boat. We're not all in the same boat. We're in different boats, we're in the same storm. It's a really good post or piece of script, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, every day I'm coaching people, you know, subconsciously even, you know, having conversations with people, talking to people about what's happening at the moment, how people are finding their way through the day, how they're adapting to the current situation. And it's a struggle. It's a struggle here. It's a struggle for me. You know, as a PT, I can train one person outside, which is difficult with the weather the way it is at the moment. I'm not going to lie. The luxury of having my nice studio here and it not being used, you know, this costs money. I have to pay for it. It's not a freebie. I don't like necessarily training outside. You know, I've got an average of 4 or 5 clients a day, but you know, I don't want to be outside 4 or 5 hours a day. It's hard, and a lot of the time at the moment, a lot of my clients don't necessarily want me from a physical training point of view. People know how to do a squat and a push up and, you know, run and all these sort of things, but it's much more than that. Personal training is more than that. It's about helping people that are struggling. People come to me for all sorts of reasons. Those that have trained with me will know that, and those that don't won't know that. So the point of this video is to really just dig a bit deeper in some of these things and to talk about goal setting and just living life under pandemic at the moment, because it's here to stay. It's not leaving us. And sadly, you know, there are thousands of people out there, and this is my take on this, so don't watch this and start kind of huffing and puffing and thinking I don't know what I'm talking about. This is purely my view on it. But I see at the moment there are lots and lots of people giving information constantly, you know, trying to tell you how to live your life. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. I'm here to tell you about how I'm living my life and to give you some things to think about that might cause you to change how you're living your life to maybe improve it. There's a lot of influence from people to tell you how to, you know, get up in the morning and be more energized, and how you should exercise every day, and you know, how you should eat this and do that. These are all basic things. These are things that we should know and things we do every day. I'm not teaching you anything new by sitting here saying you should get up in the morning and do some exercise because you'll feel great. If anybody seriously sits here and thinks, oh, I know that, sorry, anybody sits here at the moment and thinks, oh, I didn't know that. Really? Come on. Yeah, think about life. We're all adults. Hopefully we're all adults that are watching this. Children can watch this too. Who knows? So you know, I'm not wise. I'm 47 years of age. I've worked since I was 17, 18, and I've worked in many different environments. I've worked in the city. I've done sales. I've worked for all sorts of different, you know, organisations. So I have some life skill, but I'm fascinated on a daily basis by human psychology. More recently, I joined a group by a good running friend of mine, and we're talking about this sort of thing at the moment, which is why I've put this video up. So Graham, if you're watching this comes off the back of our conversation this morning. So yeah, so I'm here to offer some free advice to anybody that's prepared to listen. If you're all sat at home, you know, upping your screen time on your social media, this will add to that. And you know, you can either tune off now and think, oh, knob, or you can watch it. I don't care. I really don't care. It's here for those that want to watch it and those that don't. How I live my life, I'm fortunate, I'll be honest. I've got an amazing wife who's here working from home. She's, you know, working as hard as she's ever worked to try and keep her career and her job going, to support us as a family. I've got two amazing girls that, you know, are just everything for me in my life. They are brilliant, and I'm sure any parent out there would say the same about their own children. My children aren't better than anybody else's children. For me, my children are amazing because of what they do every day. They're warm, they're caring, they work hard, they, you know, adore their daddy and their mummy, and they love exercising. I couldn't design better children for me. So my life is pretty good in that respect, but we all have struggles, and my struggles, you know, are what's happening tomorrow, what's happening next week, what's happening next month, you know, what am I going to do with my business for the next 5 years? How are we going to survive as a family if pandemic, you know, continues for another 9 months? You know, I'm on the Beer Fest, Hastings Beer Fest committee, you know, so I've got decisions to make on that. You know, I volunteer and I do many other things. So, you know, compared to others, I'm sure people are sitting there thinking, well, it's right for you. You know, you've got the ideal life. Well, it's not the ideal life. Your ideal life is your life. What is ideal to you? If you took yourself off grid and went and lived in a log cabin in the middle of a forest somewhere, without social media, without influence, without people like me trying to give you advice, you know, your lives would probably be pretty cool, wouldn't they? Because you'd miss the things you've probably had every day for a while. But then all of a sudden you start to not see the stuff every day. Like if you tuned out social media and you stop seeing all the fancy photos that celebrities post up and all these amazing, you know, toned bodies and these amazing Caribbean holidays and these amazing cars and watches and jewelry and all these things in life that we don't need. They're nice to have, but we don't need them. If you took yourself away from all that for a minute, then your life probably actually feels ideal. But all the time you're trying to I don't know, I'm not saying that people try and be like other more successful people, but there is a level of influence there. We all compare ourselves to people that are better all the time. We rarely compare ourselves to those that are worse off. And, you know, it's a bit humbling sometimes to sit here and realise that, you know, with a roof over my head and a nice warm studio to work out of, and a wife and 2 kids, you know, really, can I complain about life? Really? No, of course I can't, because there are people out there that don't have that. And it's not down to life decisions and the rest of it. You know, I'm fortunate to be where I am. I'm not going to bore you with the details. You know, there is a reason why we're here. I wouldn't wish that on other people. You know, losing family members to have a better start in life for my children, it's a difficult call. But the point being is your life is down to you and how you live it and how you compare to other people and what you get out of it. What I'm going to try and do today is help you understand what you need to do to change some things in your life that might enhance what you do, might give you some more purpose to the day. From my side, well, I run classes, so my classes are all online, they're all Zoom classes, and I'm not here to pitch myself to get loads of you to sign up. I don't care if you don't join my classes, you know, but what I'm seeing at the moment is a lot of my regular clients that I've trained over the years don't want to get involved in Zoom. They don't want to come online and train online. So they're either not training because they've lost motivation, they're not training because they're afraid of the technology, they're not training because actually they don't have a goal at the moment, they're not training for lots of other reasons. You know, people say to me, oh, I'm just too busy now. Well, that's the one thing that I push back all the time. Nobody is too busy, okay? We are all busy, but you are never too busy to do something. Being too busy means that your time management is crap, okay? There are enough hours in the day to achieve everything you need to achieve, unless you are massively overloading yourself, at which point you are failing on so many different levels. We have time to get up in the morning, brush our teeth, have breakfast, to go on social media. If you're watching this, you're not too busy, are you? There are many things that you probably put in your life that you don't need to be in your life, which then stop you doing the things that are important. You know, how many times do you pick up the phone and do a FaceTime call or a telephone call to that friend that you've not spoken to in ages? How many of you fail to, you know, put time aside to exercise, be it on your own? You know, how many of you go out and run 20 minutes, you know, 3 times a week, which is a bare minimum? Yeah. How many of you just struggle to get those odd jobs done in the house? No, we tend to put that stuff to the back, don't we? And we focus on, you know, reacting to stuff rather than being proactive to stuff. So, you know, you wake up in the morning, you go, right, what am I going to do today? I'll have breakfast, I'll look at Facebook, then I'll moan about Facebook, and then we'll learn some more stuff about COVID, and did you know so-and-so's got COVID now, and these people are breaking the rules, and we start the day really focusing on some of the negative stuff because we're reacting to what we're reading every day. I had a conversation this morning about social media. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? For me, is it good or is it bad? I feel social media, the word social media, stops you saying Facebook. It's a generalization because there's Twitter, there's Instagram, there's Facebook. For me, I say to people, I can't come off of Facebook because I need it for my business. Well, actually, I don't, because word of mouth is really, really good. And most people that know me will train with me. I'm not going to get any more new clients necessarily out of Facebook. I think if people are interested in training, they'll go to Google and they'll find my website and they'll get in contact. What Facebook is for me, it's like a newspaper. It's a release of the day, so I can sit there and start looking at other people's worlds, because we want to compare ourselves all the time to what other people are doing, don't we? We want to see what our friends are doing, what our neighbours are doing, what our running buddies are doing. Is so-and-so going to do this race or do that race? Or it's comparable all the time, and then we judge ourselves based on that comparison. At least I do. On a daily basis. I love going on Facebook and I love going on Instagram and I like looking at it, but I don't love what I see all the time. So I love the process of looking at social media, but then I kind of almost hunt out stuff that I go, oh, really? Why has that person posted that? Or why has this person posted that? An example, yesterday, somebody goes on, I think one of the Bexon-on-Sea groups, and says, I was just going to go into Sainsbury's and somebody told me that it's rife with COVID. Does anybody know? And I think, that's just a stupid thing to put. It's a stupid thing to put on Facebook. Just ring Sainsbury's and ask them, or just stay away from Sainsbury's. Don't go on Facebook and encourage other people to dive into that conversation. All these Facebook groups like Driving Like a Twat and Parking Like a Twat, they're there to ridicule other people, to draw negativity, to, maybe people find it funny to put a picture up, and I laugh at most things, but I just think, do you know what? It's not how I want to start my day. I don't want to read that somebody's done this or done that, or that they've bought a new car and they're going to show it off and look, I'm better than everyone else, because it's ego massaging to me. Maybe I'm guilty of that. I don't know. Maybe if every time I go out for a run, I think I've said this before, I go out for a run, and I come back and I post it up and I look, I went out and ran 50 miles, 100 miles. Maybe people think, oh, so what? Do you know what? I can't, he can, good for him. But for me, it's about, showing some influence, if you like, to, no, influence isn't the word I'm looking for. It's inspirational. It's for me to inspire some of the people I know that struggle to go out and run, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, the point being is, how do we get through every day? So, goal setting, and this is important for those guys who are hopefully watching this, who are going to do my quiz-a-size on Thursday night. So on Thursday night we do an hour Zoom. In between that exercise class I ask questions. We do an online quiz. I don't know if I keep doing that. This is one take, by the way. I'm not rehearsing this and editing this down, so there'll be lots of funny things that I do in this that you'll probably go, why do you do that? I'm normal, I'm human. So Thursday night we do quiz-a-size. So I've pre-warned my Tuesday night Zoom people, who are most of the people that do Thursday night, that there will be a video. This is the video. So it's about goal setting and living life within the pandemic. What is a goal? What is a goal? It's a destination. It's a dream. It's something that you need to get to, and that sounds quite, exuberant, does it? Quite big, like a dream, a goal, a destination. What's that all about? It can be something so small. My goal today was to do this video. Quite simply, why am I doing it? Because I've got some thoughts in my head that I want to share, and I want to help people. That's why I do what I do as a job. And the goal is to do the video, which I'm doing now. We're 15 minutes in. I've given myself 20 minutes to half hour maximum, which will be enough to bore you all. But it's to do that video and get it out on social media. So I'm going to put it on my website, I'll put it on YouTube, put it on Facebook, and then I'll sit there all day and keep clicking, see how many people have watched it, because that makes you feel great because other people have watched it. To come back from that goal, how did I put that goal together? So I had 2 clients this morning online. When I made a cup of tea, said hello to the kids, checked the builders are doing what they need to be doing outside, did a bit of research, put some keywords in, which is what I've got a laptop in front of me, is just some prompts, And now I'm talking to the camera. Okay, so I said I'll do it in one take. I'm not going to, fluff it and then stop and edit it and make it all professional, because I don't want to do that. I haven't got time to do that today, because after this, I've got PE with the kids, got other stuff going on. Okay, so it's a destination, it's a dream. So I've got to work back from that, how to build that, and that goal for you can be. Let's translate it into what I do as a job. So somebody says to me, do you know what, I'm really struggling to go out at the moment. I've got one person in my head at the moment. I've got a real issue with going out at the moment and running, and I really want to go out and run, but I'm just not not motivated. What that person is lacking is a structured goal and an instruction manual on how to do that. Everything that we do, some of you know that I've run every day. So I did what we call Markathon in December. I ran every day in December, and I'm running every day in January. Why am I doing that? Because I'm inside the house all day in front of a screen. For best part of 25 years, my career in London was involving me sitting in front of a screen. I wanted to get away from that. I've gone back to that. So I'm back to sitting in front of a screen. So I'm running every day because it takes me out of the house. It gives me a habit to get out of the house. I was on the phone this morning to Ross, who's doing January. And I said to him, it always gets easier. People see it, oh my God, he's still going. He's like running every day. It doesn't get any harder, it gets easier, because there's so much psychology to it. Most of you base your decisions based on the psychology in your head. You look outside and go, oh, it's cold and it's a bit damp and it's a bit windy, and do you know what, if I go out for a run, I'm going to feel uncomfortable. Well, yeah, you might feel uncomfortable because it's exercise. Exercise is designed to make you feel uncomfortable because it's testing you and loading the system. It's making your heart beat, it's making your lungs, fill with air, it's making your arms and your legs move. It's not like sitting on the bench drinking a glass of wine, is it? Of course it's going to be uncomfortable, but we choose to be comfortable every day because that's habit. It's very easy to stay inside our nice warm houses with our central heating, sitting on a sofa, looking at social media, having a good old moan. But think of the advantage of getting out the door and running for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, whatever it may be. When you come back, there is a definite feeling of achievement, isn't there? Do you know, I'm really glad. Nobody ever has said to me, I regretted going out and running this morning. I felt crap. No one ever. But nearly every person I know has said to me at some stage, oh, I'm not feeling it this morning. Not sure I want to go this morning. Can we not go as far? Can we not go as fast? Can I do it this way? Or can I do it that way? We start throwing up kind of excuses, if you like, or reasons not to go. You just got to do it. But you've got to plan it. So this is where the goal comes in. So a miniature goal for me to run every day is very simple. At some point today, whilst I'm working and whilst we're having homeschooling and PNRS, I will try and go out and run. Whether it be 3 miles, which I'm trying to do as a minimum, or whether it be a long run. So this weekend I've got a long run planned. So today I'm just going to go out and do some small miles. So I'm already thinking about the steps that need to be in place for me to achieve that. And everyone hopefully has heard of the SMART objectives, so the specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time-bound goal. So for me, a SMART objective for today is I need to run today. So it needs to be specific. I specifically need to run today, okay? Measurable, how am I going to measure it? I track it on my watch, I'm aware of the time. I'm going to go out and I'm going to run for 3 miles. I'm going to look at my watch. When it's 3 miles, I know that I've done the minimum. Wherever I may be, I'll either run longer or I'll come back, okay? Achievable, is it achievable? Can I run 3 miles? Yes, it's achievable. Is this a realistic goal for me? Well, of course it is, because I've run every day since beginning of December. So this is day 57, 58. And it's time bound because it's today and I'm going to run today. So there's a lot of subconscious planning in that. I don't literally go through those steps every morning. I just go, I need to run today. It's got to be 3 miles. When I get back, I'll pop it on Strava. I'll put up, red 27, day 58. And then I'll keep clicking back on there and see how many people have given me kudos, because it's quite nice that you get acknowledged for that. So that's the reward. The achievement for me is going out and doing it. The reward is seeing that other people are supporting me doing that. And it's not all about my ego and getting kudos for doing it, but it's encouraging when other people click on like and do you know what, this is great. This guy's going out and running every day. And hopefully some of you might think, well, actually, do you know what, oh God, I'll try and run once a week. I'll try and run twice a week, whatever it may be. But there's pressures. There is pressures that go with that. So if you're on Strava, people say to me, "I hate Strava. I feel like I get analysed for my performance." And it's very easy, isn't it, to sit there and say, "Don't worry about what other people think." Who cares? I don't care what people think about me. That's nonsense. We all care about what people think. We all care about what people might or might not say about us, because that's how we live our lives. It's comparable all the time. So you've got to get over that. You've just got to deal with that. What works for you works for you, or works for me works for me. If you're sitting there thinking, "Oh God, he's banging on about not caring what people think," but he goes on Strava and loads it and then goes and checks for kudos. Well, I challenge anybody that uses Strava or even Facebook to say that you put a post up and don't go back and see how many people have liked it. If you honestly sit there and say, "It doesn't bother me, I don't go and check," I'm sorry, you're lying, because that's what it's all about. Like when Facebook was created, the reason they put the number of friends you've got is because they want people to have the most friends. We want to be popular, so people go in there and add loads and loads and loads of friends. I've got, I think, 2004 connections. They're not necessarily all friends. All of you that know me on Facebook that are watching this, some of you I barely know. People have sent me friend requests, and I've friend requested people that I'm interested to see what they do from a training perspective or socially or whatever it is. It's about numbers, and everything's about numbers. So that becomes a demotivator of hitting your goals every day, which is why I use the analogy of going off grid and living in a log cabin, because you don't see that anymore. If I lived on a desert island, would I get up in the morning and prep for a race and then try and race a half marathon as fast as I could around the island, only to get back and not tell anybody about it? I don't know. Would I? Is there anything you need to do? I mean, how much do we do for ourselves, and how much do we do because we want to share that with everyone else? We want to share our performance with other people and say, "Look, I'm capable of doing this, I'm capable of doing that," because we want the reward, we want the pat on the back. As a child, you grow up, you do homeschooling. My children come in all the time and say to me, "Daddy, I've achieved this. Daddy, I've achieved that. I did this at gymnastics. I did this at PE. I did that at maths." You would have seen, I run them up Elphinstone Hill near me. Part of that was for me to say how good they were to them, to say, "You've achieved this." Some of my clients can't run up Elphinstone Road, but you've done it today. Isn't that an amazing thing? So there is always that. Don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid to go on Facebook and talk about it. But just think about your audience. Think about who's going to be reading it and what's your reason for doing that. I regularly post up on Facebook and then delete it afterwards, because I wake up the next day and think, "Oh God, why didn't I write that? People don't want to see that. People don't want to see pictures of me doing that." Or I've said that and that might be construed as being a negative thing, or I've put something up and somebody might read that and think that I'm aiming at them, because I get paranoid about it. I'm quite sensitive, so I don't want to go upset. I don't want to upset people. I want to be liked. Of course we want to be liked. We want to be popular, don't we? If we're popular, we are inspiring to people, and I'm sure there's plenty of you out there that probably love seeing my posts about running, and there's probably loads of you that don't. A lot of you probably think I'm a dick or a douche or whatever, but that's life. I can't please everybody. But the biggest, drop my mouse. The biggest concern to me is that the number of people that should be doing stuff in this current climate. I keep using the word climate. It's not climate. It's a situation. In this current situation, is more of you could be doing more than you're currently doing, and whether you're doing that with my help, whether you're doing it with somebody else's help, really just you've got to find what it is. I don't like the word mojo. I think mojo is just an excuse for your habit, your lack of habit. Get up every day and do something every day for long enough, it becomes a normal thing. We didn't just suddenly decide every day, we don't wake up and go, "I feel like brushing my teeth today." You do it every day. Why? Because you were told as a child, if you don't brush your teeth every day, your teeth will rot and fall out. So we're educated in that. But are we educated in the fact that if you don't exercise every day, you might put on weight? Yeah. If you put on weight, you might get diabetes. Yeah? Get diabetes, you might die. Let's be really harsh with it. So why do we not treat exercise like brushing our teeth? Why don't we just get up in the morning and go, I need to go and brush my teeth today, so I'm going to go out for 20 minutes and do my brushing of my teeth twice a day, once a day, whatever it is. Yeah? You've got to build that habit into your life, because at the moment, if your habit is get up in the morning, some of you will have breakfast, great, some of you won't, not so great. That's another video. But some of you will wake up and either do or don't have breakfast. You'll log on to Facebook, you'll get dressed, you'll have a shower, some of you will exercise, some of you won't. Your habit is what you're doing every day. What you've got to do is introduce something new into that. There's no point in saying to me, I'm just really struggling with motivation. No, you're not struggling with motivation. You have a lack of habit and a lack of a goal. So you need a habit to create a goal. So if my goal is to run every day, I need to have the habit of running every day. If I'm going to do this video to you, the goal is to do the video. The habit is to be regularly doing research and to have the information and have the confidence to sit here in front of however many people are going to watch this. 5 people, maybe, let's hope. So you've got to create that habit. Nobody can tell you how to create a habit. A habit is something you just subconsciously do every day. Why do we go to bed at 10, 11, whatever time it is at night and get up at 7, 8, 9 at night? Because that's what we've always done, right? As a kid. So my children do exactly what I did, and no doubt if they have children, they'll do what they did. No one's actually sat down and told you why. You need 8 hours sleep a night. Do we really? Well, the Spanish seem to do it the other way around. They stay up late at night and have an afternoon nap. That's habit. There is no right or wrong way of doing things. It's what works for you. If you suddenly change your sleep pattern, it might not work for you, but it will eventually. If you suddenly change your eating pattern, it might not work for you, but it will eventually. If your eating habit is terrible, guess what? It's gonna be hard to change it. If you're a smoker, it's going to be hard to change it. If you drink wine every day, some of you do, it's going to be hard to change it. If you don't run every day, it's going to be hard to change it. Nobody in the world is going to tell you how to do it. I don't care how many people are out there going, oh, you need to exercise in the morning, you need to fulfill your lives. All right, whatever, I get that. I'm a grown man, I understand that. The amount of people I sit here and say, you really shouldn't be eating this, you really should eat that, you really should drink more water, you should eat 3 times a day. Really? What? Do we not know this? Like, really? I can't bear listening to stuff when people state the obvious. Maybe I'm stating the obvious now to you, maybe I'm not. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you to eat vegetables. I'm not going to sit here and tell you to drink 2 litres of water a day. You should know that. Whatever you choose to do, you've done it based on your experience or because somebody's told you how to do it. So there's lots of advice out there, but the best advice is your own research, to go and do it yourself and work out whether that works for you or not. What works for your mate, depending on what they choose to tell you on Facebook, if that works for them, if they're going to choose to do controversial Herbalife or isogenics or Juice Plus or drink protein shakes all day instead of eating proper food, if that works for them, great. Go knock yourselves out, guys. It ain't going to work for you necessarily. If I sit here and say, somebody recommend the best running shoe, please, and everyone goes, oh, well, I wear Nike Pegasus, I wear Asics, and I wear Hoka's, and I wear New Balance. So your foot's different to mine. Your training shoe works for you. It's not necessarily going to work for me. So other people's recommendations give you an idea. It's not necessarily the be all and end all. If I said someone recommend a restaurant, what's the first question you're going to ask? Well, what type of food? Where? What's your budget? Do they allow dogs? I mean, there's all these questions that come with it. So don't take everything that people say to you, even if somebody's an absolute expert, doesn't mean to say it's going to fit your life and your what's the word I'm looking for? Your situation, I guess. I had a coach that was coaching me to do some long runs, and it worked for a period of time, and then after that I chose not to continue to use that because I'd learned what I needed to learn through my own experience. When training for long runs, I know what I need to do. I have a goal for this year, a specific goal for this year, which I'm not going to share with you because you don't need to know it, but I have a specific goal which I've put together, and it's a destination that's going to put me in a better place. When I achieve that goal, I'll be very happy with myself because I've been disciplined to do that and I've rewarded myself through that. If you walk around every day saying, I really wish I could run, I really wish I could do this, I really wish I could give up smoking, I really wish I could give up alcohol, that's great. It's like me sitting there saying, for Christmas, I really wish I had a new iPad or whatever it is. They're wishes, flaky, lukewarm wishes that you don't care whether you do, you don't care whether you don't. It's not going to bother you if you don't run. It's not going to bother you if you don't give up smoking. It's just going to bug you a little bit, but it doesn't matter because you're just going to carry on living your life, getting up in the morning, looking at social media, doing what you do every day. And eventually those days turn into months, turn into years. 5 years down the line, you're not continuing to do what you do. The amount of people that I've trained over the years, be it life coaching, be it on the physical front, that's a habit for them. Some have remained with me for 7 years. Some have trained with me and now don't. That's fine. People move on. But it's about you creating that habit and you setting those goals on a regular basis, so you have purpose and a destination and a point. Like somebody said to me, "What's your purpose in life?" I don't know. Do I have a purpose in life? That's a good question. I didn't choose to be here. I didn't put my hand up and say, can I be a human on planet Earth today, please? I arrived because my parents had me, and I had brothers, and we're all here. And every day we survive and we provide, don't we? So as a father, as a husband, I guess my purpose is to provide and bring my children up the best way I possibly can, and to be a husband to my wife, and to work because I need to earn money. But we could choose to sell our house and go and live in a log cabin and be off grid and homeschool our kids and step away from social media. They're just decisions which require changes of our life. It all sounds dramatic, doesn't it? I'm getting probably a little bit carried away with this, but I want you to, every day, I'm gonna end this now because we're at 30 minutes, so I'm 1 minute over. Every day I want you to think and ask yourself a question about what you could do in terms of habit and goal every day, and try and achieve that on a daily basis. Those that work with me closely hopefully will understand what this means, but don't sit there and procrastinate, I can't even say it, but don't do that. Make a point of doing something every day. Ask yourself a question: what could you do today that's going to give you an achievement today, tomorrow, this week, this month, this year? Okay, don't have to use me, you don't have to take my advice. If you've watched this, hopefully it's killed half an hour of your day. You could have been doing sit-ups while you're doing it. But look, if you're interested, you want to chat to me more, I'm more than happy to chat to people I haven't seen in ages. I did this back in, I think, the end of the summer last year, challenge people to FaceTime and have a chat. Crikey, I've got so many people I know. I've got 2,006 people I know. I don't speak to any of you. We all just look at each other's lives on social media. Oh, look what they're doing. I hope that was helpful. I hope that it gave you a bit of an insight. If I've missed anything too obvious, fire me a question, Those that are doing Quizercise Thursday, do your research. All right, listen, thanks very much for your time. Have a good day, and I will hopefully see you all soon. Don't go out, stay safe, don't spread COVID about, don't be a dickhead. All right, take care, see you soon, bye-bye.